Well, this will be a really super quick little review on this Tooley Racing Stage 3 truck cam. As I said before, I'm going to donate this to another fellow LS swap, AMC Javelin, and because I don't really have a use for it anymore, and I really don't like holding on to stuff, and I just don't have the room to hold on to stuff that I probably won't ever use again, so he can put it to some good use. But here's the specs for it. Now, I don't know much about how to read the specs, you know, exactly what they mean. I can tell you on the dyno. So when we installed this cam, we were not running a supercharger. We were just running a NA, just a truck intake. And after I put this cam in, I had to take it in and get it tuned. It would start and run, but it ran too lean and had a really funny idle to it, and you know, didn't run right. But I drove it over to the tuning shop, and they tuned it up, got a little bit more gas going to it, and you know, did the tuning for the cam and everything on it, the timing, I guess. And anyways, on the dyno, this cam made us about, you know, 25, 35 wheel horsepower. It was kind of in between that. You know, we had about 4 different readings on what the cam really put out, but I'd comfortably say, you know, it puts out like 30 extra wheel horsepower. And like I said, this is just what I can tell you on this engine, because this engine has a lot of miles on it and it's wore out. It probably has low compression and other problems wrong with it. So this is just my experience with these. So definitely not telling you that you can't get more or less. I don't know. But as a kit, it was like $460, $70, something like that for the cam, the valve springs, and they sent me valve seals. You know, for the price, I looked at other cams and stuff. A lot of the cams were the same price, but they didn't come with valve springs. You'd have to buy the valve springs separate and all that stuff. So, and then the kits that did come with the cam and valve springs, they were about $100 or a little more than this cam set. So that's why I went with this one here, and I did the stage 3 because I was recommended it would give me a little bit better top end. And it is true that this cam on the bottom end, it's not really, you know, it's not a killer cam for the bottom end. It's definitely all top end. After about 4,000 RPM, I mean, this thing would light up like a match head. So I mean, the top end is where this stage 3 truck cam is at. It really came alive at the top end of the car, which was fine because we were setting the car up for Bonneville and, you know, trying to do the standing mile and stuff, so we needed as much top end as we could get at that point. So if you're looking for a cam that's going to give you a really nasty lope, like just that idle and stuff, this cam does have a lope to it, but it's not a real super low lope, and it definitely isn't a really super low idle or anything like that. I mean, we even at the tuners even looked at it, because when we first put this cam in, it had almost no lope to it at all. It just sounded pretty stock, but we did some tweaking and they got everything kind of dialed in, and it started loping a little bit, but it's not a very significant lope. So if you're one of those guys that are just looking for the sound and not really the performance, this probably isn't for you. So anyways, like I said, the kit came with the valve springs, and everything was pretty easy to put in. I had the heads off, so the valve springs were no problem. I don't know if you could run your stock springs or not with this cam. I mean, they send you the valve springs, you may as well use them, but you might be able to use your stock springs. I don't know that for sure, because you can use everything else stock, push rods, lifters, all that stuff. So, but As far as the cam, I had good luck with it. I really liked the cam for what it was, and it did work with the supercharger, but you know, it really wasn't, it's not designed for a supercharger. It's probably, you know, these springs probably aren't tight enough to keep the boost in, and you know, I should be, according to dyno and all the tuners, I should be making well over 100 more horsepower than what I'm making. And on the dyno, when this cam would kick in at about 5,000 RPM, I would have really decent horsepower coming up on the boost, but I would actually start losing horsepower by the time I got over 5,500. So then I talked to the guys at BTR, and they told me, yeah, this cam really isn't designed for a boost application, so that's why I got the whole new cam kit. It's going to come with push rods, retainers, valve springs, cam, etc. And so we should see a huge difference in the power, so that should be good. But anyways, for what it is, and if you're just looking for some top end and you're looking for a kit that you can just slap in your stock LS, you know, there's a good kit for it. I would recommend it for that stuff. I don't know anything about the stage 1 or stage 2. I don't know what kind of power bands they are or anything, but and like I said, there could be a lot better horsepower out of your engine versus mine, depending on how old your engine or what you're running and all that stuff too. So good cam. I do recommend it, and like I said, I'm getting this new setup, and it should be a lot better for what I'm doing and all that good stuff. So I thought I'd just do a quick little miniature review on it, just because I'm going to send the cam away and I won't be able to tell you. I wouldn't have the cam here to show you the numbers, and I probably wouldn't remember to give you a quick little review on it. So till next time.